Hello YouTube, I'm PilotStar and welcome to a big video. Now today I thought I'd wrap up all of the upcoming freeware and payware aircraft into one video. Today we'll be going through all of the aircraft that should be coming to Flight Simulator 2020. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help me out, but now let's get into this video. Okay, so first of all, let me start off with a disclaimer. I've looked around loads, a lot of research has gone into this video, but I can't say that I've got all of the aircraft in here. I definitely have not got all of the ones that are coming, but I've tried to get the most popular, the ones I'm most excited for, and a broad variety of aircraft into this video as well. If you guys know any more aircraft that are coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, drop them in the comments down below. I'd love to see them. I don't think anyone, unless you spent weeks, if not months, researching, could find all of the aircraft that are coming to the sim. But anyway, let's get into our first one. Okay, so Aerosoft are very well known in the sim community for their fantastic quality, aircraft, scenery, and basically everything really. Now we've got the Aerosoft CRJ coming, of course we all know about that, and some other aircraft. However, just today, Aerosoft released some previews for the Twin Otter coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now the Twin Otter, of course, is quite a small plane, basically used for island hopping. Here in the UK, it's used quite a bit up in the Scottish Highlands and Ireland. Now Aerosoft have been quite tight with their screenshots because basically they want to manage expectations and not overhype everyone, but they are very well known for producing fantastic aircraft. Now on the screen now we've got a collection of screenshots from the Aerosoft Twin Otter, and you can see guys, it's nowhere near complete. Looking at the aircraft exterior model in the hangar, you can see the propellers aren't even correctly modelled yet. Not to say it's bad, just saying it won't be here for a while. Of course, many aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator don't have steam gauges. Most of them are almost all digital now. So it's nice to see an interesting, slightly older aircraft like the Twin Otter coming from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, of course, an aircraft we're all excited for is the PMDG 737 Next Generation, or the 737-800, whatever you like to call it. Now, PMDG, well known, of course, like Aerosoft, for their high-quality, study-level aircraft, and they're bringing the 737 to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, of course, this is a massive project, so we can't expect it to come around anytime soon. I think they're aiming to get it out by either the first quarter of 2022 or late 2021. But I imagine it would be later rather than earlier. Now we're all of course excited for a 737 coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It probably will be quite expensive, around £60 to £70. I wouldn't be surprised if it was around there. But looking at the screenshots so far, they're doing a very good job. Now about the release date, they do warn that it will slip into the fourth quarter of 21. You guys already know I said I think it'll be 2022. And I stand by that point. I do think it will be delayed again, just normally is. But however, it might be out in less than a year. But really that is up to the developers. On top of this, PMDG might be working on a 777 and a 747 as well as a DC-6 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Although due to the setbacks of the 737 Next Generation, I can't really talk too much about this because we haven't received a lot of details on it. No screenshots at all, so I'm not really going to talk about it. But keep it in mind guys, you might see a 777 by PMDG as well as a 747 and DC-6. Very cool aircraft. Now DC Designs, another great company, they recently released their F-15 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I should point out that all of their aircraft, they don't aim for the highest study level potential, they aim for fun and accessible aircraft. So bear that in mind as we talk about the aircraft that they're bringing to the sim. Now I've talked about this on a video before, however I'll glance over the aircraft that they should be bringing to the sim right now. So DC Designs will be bringing the A10C Thunderbolt 2 to Microsoft Flight Simulator, as I like to call it the Mickey Mouse plane, because if you look at it from the front, it does look a bit like Mickey Mouse. World famous aircraft with that beautiful Gatling gun noise. I mean, it is so recognisable. A fantastic design that's proved how capable it can be over the time, which is why it's still in use. All the way from the Cold War, this really is an aircraft that will feel nicely at home in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I know people will say, why didn't you go on DCS to fly around a jet? Well, DCS doesn't have the whole world, for one, and while a lot of you guys may be study level pilots, if you want to have a bit of fun in a fighter jet, the Microsoft Flight Simulator is a great platform for that. Now this is a massive announcement. Concorde is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think this will be sooner rather than later. DC Designs also released a post a few days ago saying they found a way to support Mk4 flight in the sim. Now this was a limitation in the software development kit that the developers said they couldn't get around just yet, but surprise surprise, they found a way to get around this. So this means we might be seeing the Concorde pretty soon. It won't be 100% realistic, it won't be study level, but it will be Concorde, and you really cannot complain about this aircraft. It is absolutely stunning, and hey, we should see most features featuring in this aircraft. Now we've also got the F-16 Fighting Falcon, one of the most popular fighter jets on the market, a beautiful little aircraft. I say little, but in comparison to the likes of the F-15, it is quite a bit smaller. Work is yet to be started on the D variant, but here we go, we've got the nice C variant on the screen now. F-18F Super Hornet will be coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Of course, the F-18 is a fantastic carrier-borne aircraft, at least if you get the right specification. Now, I think we'll be seeing military jets in Microsoft Flight Simulator, regardless of payware or freeware companies. I think they'll be integrated down the line by Asobo. Just like we saw with Flight Simulator X with the F-18, we may see something like that down the line. Possibly coming in DLC content like the Acceleration Pack 2 for Flight Simulator X, I believe. Now we've also got the first native DC Designs project for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's the F-14A and F-14D, two variants of the world famous Tomcat aircraft, which of course featured in Top Gun, so it's quite a well-known aircraft. A lot of work is going into this one, and seeing as it's built from the ground up, you can expect some good things with it. Moving on, an aircraft I'm personally quite excited for is the Hawk Trainer 2, or T2. Now we've got the basic external model here, although there's pretty not much else really in this aircraft at the moment, just an early concept to be perfectly honest. DC Designs are really blowing it out the park with these ones. We've also got the P-47 Thunderbolt coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like with the Hawk before, this is just the external model. We haven't got any cockpit yet. We also got the beautiful Spitfire. There is another developer working on the Spitfire. This is the Mark 14 Spitfire, and they'll also have the Mark 9. Now, the only difference here really is that the Mark 14 was powered by the Griffin engine and the Mark 9 was powered by the world famous Merlin engine. An aircraft I'm really looking forward to, although once again these aircraft are all for fun, not completely study level aircraft, so bear that in mind guys. We've also got a RF-61C Reporter, which is a reconnaissance aircraft. Certainly looks rather interesting, I have to say. And of course we've had the F-15 released, and it was a mixed bag, but I thought it was a great little fun aircraft. There's all the lot from DC Designs, a lot of aircraft there, all the way from Concorde to some fighter jets from World War II onwards. Now let's move on to some more aircraft. Now, massive news with this one, a completely free aircraft, the FlyByWire A380 is coming to the sim. We're certainly all excited for this one. FlyByWire, of course, renowned for their A320NX. A fantastic addition to the default A320, bringing it right up to study level. We can expect nothing better than top quality with the FlyByWire A380, and while there's lots of progress, what we've got so far is certainly promising. One to look out here, guys. Now, a certainly interesting aircraft that's in work in progress at the moment, the AeroSimulations Aerostar 600. Now, AeroSimulations actually operate this aircraft in real life, which I thought is a nice little link. It is used as a training aircraft for the US military, and it certainly looks rather interesting. We haven't got many aircraft like this in the sim, so it'll be a nice addition. Not too much details here, but there's some nice screenshots. In addition to this, we've got the QualityWings Ultimate 787 collection. Now you may be wondering, Pilot Stud, why have we got a 787 payware when we've got the default 787 in the game? Well, that is simply because the default 787 is not up to scratch. For those who want a top quality study level 787, luckily QualityWings are here to save the day for those. And by the looks of it, progress is well on its way with this aircraft. I imagine we can see it in a few months' time. Seeing as they don't have to build a whole new aircraft from the ground upwards, it certainly looks rather promising. While I'm not overly interested by an advanced 787 because I do think the default 787 is fun enough for me, you can see it has loads of features that aren't in the default version, These features of which many pilots do want to have, and of course this screen here is quite fundamental regardless of your skill level, so I would really like to see this anyway. It's a work in progress, but it's looking good. I think they're going for the 787-8, -9 and -10, so there's a lot to look here. And of course, as I said at the start, we've got the Aerosoft CRJ. Now with this we're getting the Aerosoft CRJ 550, 700, 900 and 1000. And I mean, this will be released soon, hopefully. They did say around Christmas time, but it's been delayed a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this by late February. What we've got already is stunning. It's going to be our first study level airliner that is not a default aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As I said earlier, Aerosoft are renowned for their top quality products, so I am incredibly excited for this one. Now, Airplane Heaven are working on a variety of aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. On the screen now, we've got the beautiful DC-3 at London Heathrow, and doesn't this look fantastic? Especially in the British European Airways colours. It honestly looks so amazing. I don't know whether it's Microsoft Flight Simulator or the class exterior model of this aircraft. It is personally one of my favourite aircraft. It looks absolutely stunning in the sun. They're not only working on the DC-3, they're also working on a Spitfire, and this is a Mark 1 Spitfire, so the earliest version I believe. It's looking great. We haven't got too much information on this, but they're working on it, so that brings another contender for the Spitfire in Microsoft Flight Simulator. On top of this, we've got a very interesting aircraft coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Pucara. Now, I believe this was used by South American Air Forces, and it is, of course, a military aircraft by the team at Ctrl Easy, although Airplane Heaven are helping out with that. Now, details on this are pretty sparse, but we've got some nice screenshots, and you can see it is certainly an interesting aircraft. The shape of it is quite reminiscent to your modern day fighter jet, but of course we've got two propellers on the side, two turboprops. An interesting one to look out for. Probably not my cup of tea, but I do like the look of it. Now, this is an aircraft I'm really looking forward to, the short Tucano T1 from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, this was used by the Royal Air Force here in the United Kingdom for kind of basic fast jet training, and it looks absolutely stunning. The work they're doing on this FoxtrotOscarSimulations, it is phenomenal already. The exterior model is looking really nice. I can't wait to fly around in this one. We've also got some of the cockpit coming along. It doesn't look like it's going to take too long from where we are now. They're making very good progress with it. Bear in mind, some of these screenshots are from as early as November. They do normally work on DCS aircraft, but they've clearly branched out into Microsoft Flight Simulator, and what they're bringing is very promising. Now, an aircraft I'd never heard of before is the Microsoft Flight Simulator version of the MilViz C310R. Here we've got some preview screenshots. Once again, information on this is pretty sparse, and these screenshots are fairly old, so I can't seem to find out much more information on this aircraft, except from the fact that it was used as a training aircraft by many militaries. Now, the Cessna 310R, as you can see, is a twin-engine monoplane, of course produced by Cessna. It first flew in 1953, and is still used up to the day by the United States Air Force. I mean, what can you say? It's primarily used for training in air forces around the world. It's quite likely that a country near you has or had used this aircraft as a trainer. It's a very capable aircraft, and the screenshots we've got so far do look amazing. An interesting aircraft that I'm not all familiar with. It's got a pretty nice cockpit already. It's coming into shape nicely. Although, as you can see, there's quite a bit of work to do to bring it up to Microsoft Flight Simulator standards. And it's in beta testing at the moment. Now, once again, guys, I don't have all the time in the world. I can't look into every single aircraft, so I do apologise if I've missed some. I've tried to get the most comprehensive list of all the aircraft coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I do apologise if I've missed any. We're now going to move into some more aircraft. Now, WhiskeyJetSimualtions have previewed the A220 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course, and it's looking stunning already. Now, progress on this will take a bit longer. We can't expect this anytime soon because, of course, there's nothing really for the A220 to go off in the simulator, unlike the A320NX or QualityWings 787. So it is being built basically from the ground up, although WhiskeyJetSimualtions have worked on an A220 for FSX for a long time, although they'll be releasing this alongside it. Now, with this one, we've actually got a video with it, which we haven't had for many of these aircraft today. It's certainly a nice aircraft by the looks of it. With no release date planned so far, I can't really comment on it. All I can say is that it will be released with the Flight Simulator X version, so hope that it won't take too long. Now, some of you guys may have remembered when the A330 briefly came into the sim from the Aircraft Mega Pack team. That was retracted due to copyright issues. However, they're building the A330 from the ground up for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, progress on this has been slow. However, good progress so far, I have to say. And freeware developers, I do salute you, because you're doing this out of fun and as a hobby and not making any profit from it whatsoever, so keep it up. Now, I did say about the Aircraft Mega Pack there, and they're bringing a variety of aircraft to the sim, hopefully, from the 737, and they're doing a great job on this. Here's some exclusive screenshots that I was sent from the developer. Now, there's not any release dates here because it is a big ask for freeware developers, especially of this size, to hit a deadline, and to be fair, I don't think it's fair on them. However, if you don't want the PMDG 737 or you think it's going to be too expensive, then you might want to take a look at the Aircraft Mega Pack. They've got plenty of great aircraft coming along into shape, from the A330 to the 737, so all I can say really is keep it up, guys. Now, a company that's already worked on an aircraft and released an aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator is working on one of the first seaplanes for the sim. The Lockheed Vega is coming pretty soon, and it's looking stunning already, I have to say. Now, Wing 42 has worked on an aircraft before. It's the Blurut 6, and it looks very nice. I do apologise for my pronunciation there. Now, the Vega has already been released for previous flight sims, such as Flight Simulator X and P3D, I believe. Quite an interesting old aircraft, as it comes, or seems to come, in two varieties, being a seaplane and also a normal plane with wheels. Just a plane to look out here for. It looks stunning, I have to say. I mean, it is nice to have a seaplane coming along. It would be good to see some helicopters coming along with this sim, and maybe some big military aircraft. One thing I should say from the Aircraft Mega Pack as well is that we've got the KC-10, and the progress on that is actually probably one of the best from the pack, so that is something to look forward to, I guess. KC-10, of course, can be used as a fuel transporter, and it does look very nice. Now, the final company we'll be looking at before I wrap up this video is the upcoming aircraft with IndiaFoxtecho. Now, IndiaFoxtecho worked on the fantastic MB339er for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they're bringing some really high quality aircraft to the game. They've worked on projects with FSX and P3D before, so you know they're in this for creating great aircraft. We've got the T-45, which is coming very soon, and it's looking magnificent. This will be one of the first carrier-borne aircraft to come to the sim, and I believe they are working on a way for arrestor hooks and cables to kind of all work integrated with it, and it's looking great from the cockpit. I'm really excited with this one. A two-seater trainer as well. And yes, guys, you're looking at the screen correctly right now. You see the early development of the F-35. And as I said when talking about DC designs, true Mach 2 flight is now available, therefore supersonic at Mach 1 is also doable. The F-35 is of course a 5th generation fighter, and it's looking superb. There's a base nearby me that uses the F-35s, although I've only seen a few fly over before. IndiaFoxtecho seem to be focusing most of their efforts into the T-45, and it is paying off. It looks excellent so far. But it doesn't just stop there. We've got potential aircraft coming by the developers from the Eurofighter Typhoon and F-14, but be aware, guys, they don't expect to release any of these before Q3 of 2021. There's some nice screenshots already, but they are in early development, so keep an eye out for these, but don't expect them anytime soon. So there you have it, guys. I've tried to cover as many aircraft as I can in the time. This has probably ended up being an incredibly long video. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. A lot of research has gone into this video, and a lot of time as well, so be sure to like and comment down below, as well as hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. I'm going to wrap up this video here, guys. Thanks for coming along. It's been a pleasure to tell you about the upcoming aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you want to join my channel, then there is the join button. It's a fantastic way to support me, and also gives you many perks in return. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, then you can buy me a coffee, a fantastic way to support the channel again. But once again, subscribing is enough. Thanks, guys, it really means a lot. Have a great day, bye-bye.